This is the plaintiff, Cordair Bailey. He says his mother's tenant demolished a property she was renting from her, causing extensive damage because she was upset he had to evict her. He's not about to allow her to get away with owing him the $1,000 she's trying to avoid paying, and is here suing for just that amount. This is the defendant, Melissa Knox. She says the conditions in the house were deplorable. The house was infested with bugs. The plaintiff's mother never did anything about it, and she moved out. She doesn't owe any back rent. She caused no damages, and she thinks the judge will see things her way today in court, and she won't have to pay the plaintiff a thing. She's accused of wrecking the joint.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says his mom's tenant destroyed their place out of vengeance, but the defendant says the place was bug infested. It's the case of don't bug me.
Thank you, Douglas. All right, Mr. Bailey.
Hi, how are you?
You are suing Melissa Knox. So you inherited a building from your mother when she passed away?
Yes, my mother suddenly, she passed away in February, suddenly of a heart attack.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, and she left me her property and everything, and I was just left to take over literally everything by myself.
Okay, now you have been living there for how long?
For a year and a half.
All right, and were you behind on rent at that point?
Only for May.
Okay, so you took over in February.
Yes.
And you paid February, you paid March, you paid April, and then you didn't pay May.
May, yes.
All right, and then how much were you paying in rent?
My rent was $525 a month.
Okay. Apparently your office cut your hours back?
No, I work for the University of UB. And
University of Buffalo?
yes.
Okay.
I'm a cook there. And I had gave my daughter a party in April. When it was time to pay rent in May, my account was overdrawn.
Because of the party?
Yes.
How
because
old's your daughter?
She's 15. I gave her a hotel party.
Okay, but you have money problems.
Yes, there was money issues. So I explained to his uncle, because that's who I was dealing with. I had never met Mr. Bailey at that time. I explained to him that my account was overdrawn and I would be able to pay it on the 17th of May. Once the 17th, but within that time, I end up missing 2 weeks of work because I have plantar fasciitis. So I end up losing hours. And
But I don't, they make me come to work anyway.
No.
But yeah, I am, my left foot, as we speak, it's raging. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
it's
once the 17th came and I got my paycheck was only $300-some.
So the bottom line is you didn't pay rent, you couldn't get help with rent, and so you're overdue in May. You file an eviction in May.
Yes, I just had to go by law. That's all I think I knew.
And so you file the eviction in May, and then you get a court hearing when?
I got a court hearing for the 4th of June.
Okay, so then what happened on the 4th of June?
Never showed up to court. I went to court.
You didn't or she didn't?
She didn't. I went to court.
So you got an order?
Yes.
All right, now he is suing you for rent plus late fees for May.
Yes.
Plus $250 to repair damages, most of which are, geez, it looks like somebody took a nail gun and just did target practice on the wall. It was crazy. What is this? What was that?
It was utility nails. Yes, I do admit, yes, I had a lot of nails in the wall.
What was that about though? They're in such weird places. Like what were they?
Because mostly like a lot of stuff was I was hanging up like stuff for my kids, the Christmas stuff. That's majority what it was.
That's the
used
one
for.
that looks like target practice.
No.
What was there?
That was my boyfriend's hats. He had hats hanging up.
Oh,
on
hats.
Yes,
You know, that's
like
stuff that needs to be repaired now, you know?
Yeah.
When I try to hang something up, my husband calls me machine gun because I just, no, that's not going to do it. Half an inch this way, and I just keep going, but this is like crazy. What's this? You left the TV behind?
Yeah, it had got broken.
You left all those behind? What is this, the toys you left behind? Why'd you leave these toys behind?
Yeah, that was because I had no way to move. After I moved all my stuff out. Yeah.
Oh. So it could be somebody else's problem. About mattresses, box springs, what happened to the door?
That was probably from me. At the time, I didn't have a dryer, and I was hanging the clothes up.
What is this? What am I looking at?
Those are the roaches that I had to deal with. Had to deal with? Yes, I also have pictures of this ceiling that the neighbors upstairs flooded the bathroom 3 times. I have pictures of that, and it's still like that to this day.
Let's look at that.
And I was never told about that, Your Honor.
No.
This is the video that you took when you left?
Yes.
All right.
We were still in the house.
She put them here.
Who's
and the books come out there.
Is that your baby? How
That's
old?
my baby. She's 4.
She's saying there's a bug?
Yes.
Are those bugs crawling all over the floor?
Yes.
Everything dark that I'm seeing is a roach?
Yes.
Okay. This is what I had to live with for the whole 2 years I've been here. And his mother knew that. But you want to sue me. This is what me and my babies had to live.
Oh, 2 bugs down here.
2 bugs down here? Is that...
2 bugs down here.
What's that hole that I just
Ceiling
saw?
has been like this.
What's that about?
the
There's a
last
leak in the
year.
upstairs?
They never
Yes,
came to
that's
fix
by
it.
the hot water tank. That's on top of the
I'll
sink.
show you my pantry. This is the ceiling.
Okay, right there. Stop. What am I looking at there? There have been a flood?
Yes, the neighbors have flooded their bathroom twice. The maintenance guy was supposed to come fix it. That was a year ago, and that's how it was when I left.
Did any plumber come and fix the leak?
No.
Well, that's where the bugs are coming. I mean, you can't have that open. You can't have that not repaired. You can't have that cleaned up. But what I'm not understanding is, why would you live like that and expose your babies to
Because
that?
at the time, I couldn't afford to move. I'm
All
a
right.
single mother.
Who is it you brought that to the attention of?
The mother, she knew about that.
How many times did you bring it to her attention?
Twice, because she said they were going to let it air out, and then the maintenance guy was supposed to come fix it, and he never did.
Who's the maintenance guy?
His name was Mr. Ray or
I
something.
let his uncle know this. They said they were supposed to be getting an exterminator.
Okay, when she says I let his uncle know this, she's talking about you. So,
Nothing was brought to me. She has my number. Nothing was brought to me.
but if you make your uncle your representative, you know,
That's who I'm
and you're
saying,
supposed to figure out, you know, you're the new landlord, you should figure out.
She never told him about the roaches.
Ain't nobody down there living.
So he didn't.
Did you
come to
tell
me.
him about the
Yes,
roaches?
I did, because he the one said that he was going to get an exterminator, and the exterminator was supposed to be, they were setting up a day around May. No exterminator never came.
That is a false termination,
Yeah,
ma'am.
okay.
Because if any terminations would have came, they would have came to me
Do you have
first.
anything
No,
in the
this was
text
by
about
word.
the extermination?
No, this was by word.
All right, you acknowledge the damages. Because the only thing he's suing for are, you know, the machine gun nails and all that has to be plastered.
Yes,
all that
I
has to be,
admit to-
you acknowledge
yes,
all
yeah,
that.
yes.
You acknowledge the door.
The
That
wall.
alone, because he's not asking that much for that. That's $250.
Right.
Even that alone would be $250. So you acknowledge the $250. What's at play here is really the rent. And I think that what you were trying to tell me is, Judge, why should I pay rent for a place like this that needs all these repairs that nobody's doing?
Yes.
How many roaches before you bail on an apartment?
It depends how much the rent is.
Okay, $400.
Oh yeah, a lot of roaches.
A lot of
I
roaches?
deal with a lot of roaches. Oh, you bet.
Oh, because it's cheap.
Yeah, of course.
$5,000.
2 roaches.
Going inside the court.
There was never, if there were any repairs that need to be needed, and even though, like I said, I was dealing with a lot of stuff, I'm an only child, I have all my mother's inheritance to deal with, so therefore I took my uncle and let him help me just to ease the thing.
You know how that sounds to everybody
No, I
who
know,
listens to
but I mean, I only have...
I have an inheritance to deal with. That didn't sound...
Not saying it like
no,
that,
I
but
know
I had
what you're saying, that you had a lot on your plate.
I had a lot on my plate.
I got it.
A lot.
I got
And
it.
like I said, if there were any problems...
I got it. But you have to understand, this isn't a lawsuit where she's suing you for being a slumlord, and your answer is, hey, I had a lot on my plate, I was getting my bearings. This is a lawsuit where you are suing her for rent.
Yes.
So when she talks to me about everything she's been through, it's an argument that is
Yes.
a fair argument for her to make. It may not have been with you, but it was with your predecessor in interest, who was your
Never-
mother.
was still never
and
was-
you had an uncle involved. You acknowledge it. You had
Yes,
an uncle
I did,
involved.
yeah, and they never told me.
So that's where I understand, and even if I believe you, it wouldn't matter to the case. Is
No,
what
I
I'm trying to
understand,
tell
I
you.
understand.
Now you have a witness you'd like to call in order to
Yes.
testify to what?
My girlfriend, as far as me going over there, speaking with her, and never, if there were any repairs or anything that needed to be made, I was never brought up. She never mentioned repairs. No, not one time was I ever even
And then
said anything about repairs.
go ahead and stand up, please. What did you want to testify
Yes,
to?
I was in the car when he did go over there, and when she said that she would have the rent money by the 17th, I was in the car with my kids. The window was down. Nothing was ever said about any roaches. Nothing was ever said about any repairs or anything like that.
Okay, let me just ask you this question, because wouldn't it stand to reason that if there was a repair pending and people were ignoring you, that you would mention it to them at that time?
Yes, I could have. Yes, I could have.
But you acknowledge that you didn't.
Yes.
But your testimony is that you'd brought it up to the mom and that you had brought it up to the uncle.
Yes.
And I know that there had to be conversation because there were several repairs that happened during some time in that last year when there was flooding from above and flooding from below. I know repairs happen. So I know that, yeah, you never said anything is not accurate. You know that somebody connected to the landlord, whether it's your mother or you or your uncle or whatever, knows that there's a flood, knows there's another flood, knows there's a flood above, knows there's a flood below. They have eyeballs. They see where the holes are. I'm not going to make her pay rent for May. I am going to make her pay for the damages. I order you to pay the defendant $250. Verdict for the defendant. Good luck, folks. I find that the place was uninhabitable in May.
So the plaintiff does get a judgment for $250 for the damages, the nails and all that stuff. You're not there anymore, right?
No, I'm not.
Where are you? Are you in a better place now?
No, right now I'm living in a shelter.
Okay. Even that looks like it would be, sounds like it would be better than where you were.
Yes, yes it is. A whole lot better.
That's pretty bad.
Yes.
All right, well, that's the judge's decision. I hope things work out for you,
All right,
okay?
thank you. Thank you
You
very
must sign
much.
some documents on your way out of court, and the door's that way.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I know you wanted more, but you're going to get $250 to
Hey
help
man,
take all
something
the
as
nails
long
off.
as it's worth for this lady right here. That's all I worry about, man.
I know about your
It's
mom.
my
I'm
mama.
sorry.
That's
about
all
that.
I worry about.
But
her.
look, that's your apartment now, or
Yeah.
in your building. It looks like you got a lot of work to do.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
definitely. But like I said, my whole thing was there was never any question. Nobody never came to
You
me,
didn't
said
know.
anything. You know, we live right up the street from each other. It was a simple, hey,
Communication.
Communication.
Now you know.
yeah. Communication is key, though. That's the lesson for today. Communication.
No question. All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
You must sign a few documents, and that'll do it, Harvey.
Okay, there is something called a warranty of habitability that attaches to every single lease, whether it's written or not, and it means the place has to be healthy and safe for the tenant. If you have roaches, it's not, but you have to give your landlord an opportunity to correct the problem.